My name is Gustavo. I am a congressman in Brazil, and the reason why I decided to record this video in English is because Brazil, my beloved country, has fallen. Brazil has become a full-blown dictatorship under the rule of Judge Moraes, a Supreme Court justice who has kidnapped our democracy, our freedom of speech, who has sent to prison thousands of innocent people, tortured some of them in prison, who is about to convict the greatest leader, political leader that Brazil has ever seen, Bolsonaro, who has censored dozens and thousands of people, who has intimidated congressmen and senators, the press. Nobody in Brazil has the courage to speak their minds anymore. We have become a dictatorship. And today, Judge Moraes started the trial that he fabricated, a theater that he created in order to put Bolsonaro in prison. Bolsonaro, who is leading all the presidential polls, who is the greatest political leader that Brazil has ever seen, the former president that showed to us what freedom really is, what patriotism really is. As you all know, our president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, was put in the presidency, taken out of prison by his friends from the Supreme Court justices that he put in the Supreme Court while he was president in previous mandates. And these people took him out of prison after being convicted for corruption, the greatest corruption scheme the world has ever seen, and put him back in the presidency. And later, they're trying now to arrest Bolsonaro. They have arrested journalists in my country. There are journalists who had to flee Brazil in order to continue doing their jobs. We have comedians being arrested, musicians being arrested, old ladies being arrested because they were in a public building on a Sunday with a Bible under their arms. So the reason why I'm recording this, putting myself at risk one more time, having my house raided by the federal police, the Gustavo of Judge Moraes one more time, is because in Brazil, there is nothing we can do anymore. We've tried all the possible venues, but everything in Brazil has been kidnapped by this system, by the establishment, who is afraid to react, because if they start reacting, Judge Moraes will put them in prison. There are not many people in Brazil willing to speak their minds anymore. People are afraid to post anything on the internet. People are afraid to go to the streets. We can't have that. The world doesn't need another dictatorship, and Brazil has become one. So the reason I'm shooting this video is I'm hoping for a miracle. In Brazil, the public opinion says the majority of our country understands that we have become a dictatorship. The majority of my country understands that the greatest threat for our democracy is the Supreme Court. The majority of people in my country wants Moraes impeached, the Moraes impeached, but the Congress is afraid to react, because the moment we start reacting, federal police in our house, more investigations, we are putting more investigations, our lives are destroyed, our social network is banned, our bank accounts are blocked. So there aren't many congressmen willing to speak against what's happening, but I can't have that. I can't have my kids, my grandchildren that I don't even have yet, but I think about them, living in a dictatorship. This week and next week, it's going to be the last nail in the coffin. Judge Moraes is going to arrest and convict Bolsonaro just because Bolsonaro woke up the patriotism in Brazil again. So please share this video with anyone you can. Even the international press understand that what's happening in Brazil is crazy. It's absurd, and we can't have that. Help Brazil. Please help Brazil. We are 217 million people who want to live in freedom, who want to have freedom of speech. We don't have that anymore. If there's anything anyone in the world can do, do it now. Because here we have become hostages.